Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Welcome to the channel once again. My name is Dennis and this is Math with Dennis. We're continuing with the crash course, Pure 1 Mathematics. 9709 is the paper code, and today we are going to look at solving simultaneous equations. We started by looking at the main topic is quadratics. We started by factorizing, completing squares, quadratic formula, and now we are going to look at solving simultaneous equations. These are all examples from past paper questions, and we all know, we are familiar with simultaneous equations. Remember, this is an A-level course, AS level course, and this session is brought to you by me, your tutor, Dennis, and I hope you find it useful. So let's start. So you are familiar with the term simultaneous equations from the previous level IGCSE. We are following the Cambridge curriculum, remember, and in today's learning objective, I'm going to teach you how to solve two equations together, hence the word simultaneous. But one equation is quadratic and another one is linear. So I was saying that you're familiar with the term simultaneous equations from IGCSE. You're familiar with the different methods of solving simultaneous equations, i.e. substitution, elimination, graphical method, and etc. Now, all the methods of simultaneous equations work given the type of the equations you're dealing with. If they are linear, it works. But in this situation here, we have one linear and one quadratic. Remember, in our very first session, we talked about how to identify, how to differentiate between linear and quadratic. We said linear doesn't have a power, or the highest power is 1, just like you see in equation 1. I'll write on my screen just a second. Okay, like this. Okay, I'll change the color here. Yes, so this is an example of a linear equation because the highest power is 1. Someone could say it doesn't have any powers, but there is one, an invisible one, and this is a quadratic because it has the highest power as 2. Alright, so let's start solving this equation. So you have to look out for which equation appears simpler. Remember, if an equation has more powers, then it gets complex. So in this case, I'll name that equation 1 and I'll name that equation 2. So from equation 1, we can make x the subject, so we can say x equals 6 minus 2y. Alright, and then we can now substitute in equation 2, so we can say substitute in equation 2. Okay, so in equation 2, instead of x squared, we can now write 6 minus 2y squared plus 4y equals 20. Alright, now let's expand the 6 minus 2y squared. I know you all know how to expand, so I'll be quick. 36 plus 4y squared minus 24y and then plus 4y equals 20. Okay, now we have this and we are going to simplify it. So when we simplify, we can now have 4y squared minus 20y plus 16 equals 0. Now we have this, we can now get the value of y. Basically, we can choose to use any of the methods that we talked about before for solving quadratics, because this is a quadratic, as you see it, it's a quadratic. So we can use factorization, we can use completing squares, we can use the quadratic formula. Now in this case, I'll let you work on it. You can watch the previous videos to see how we can use these methods to solve, but still I'll give you the answers. So when you work out, we shall get y as 4 and another value of y will be 1. So these are the values of y, but I would like you to complete this using one of the methods we talked about in the previous videos, that is factorization, quadratic formula, and completing square. So after getting the value of y, we can now get the value of x. So we can say for y equals 4, we find x will be 6 minus 2 into 4. So in this case, x will be negative 2. And then for y equals 1, we find the value of x that corresponds to 1. And here x will be 4. So these will be the values of x and the values of x and the values of y. But all I'm asking you as practice is to use any of the methods, factorization, then there is completing squares, and then there is quadratic formula. You can watch the previous videos to see how we use these to solve that, and that is the first example. Alright, okay, let's try out the second one here. One linear, one quadratic, but we still follow the same steps. Okay, so I'll decrease the thickness. So we start by naming the equations, equation 1, equation 2. So from this we shall have x equals 5 minus y, and then we can substitute, and then we say 5 minus y all squared, we're substituting in 2, plus 2y squared equals 33. Simplifying and expanding this, we shall have 25 plus y squared minus 10y plus 2y squared equals 33. Simplifying, we shall have 3y squared minus 10y minus 8 equals 0. Okay, so yeah, this is a quadratic, perfect quadratic, which we can solve using one of the methods above, but I would prefer we can use factorization. And doing factorization, we can now get 3 plus 2y. Of course, I'm skipping the part where we find the factors and etc. You can watch the videos before to see how factorization works. So these are the two brackets that we have. Then we can use them to solve for the value of y. So our first value of y will be 4, and our other value of y will be negative 2 out of 3. So if we have this, we can use it here. So x is 5 minus 4, implying that x will be 1, and then another x equals 5 minus it is 5 minus just a second, checking if I didn't make a mistake. Y is 4, okay, and then this one will be because y is negative, so this will be like that, because this is negative. So we have 5 plus 2 over 3, and simplifying this, we can solve this. So I'll take you through the basics of solving a fraction. Maybe some of you have forgotten it. So let's make them common LCM. So this is 15 out of 3 plus 2 out of 3, so this is 17 out of 3, and this goes 5 and then 2 out of 3. Yeah, so this will be another value of y. Okay, hope that makes sense, and this is how we solve. Now we have another question here, but this question is one of the application questions, how to apply solving simultaneous in a context, in a situation. So two circular pizza pans have a combined circumference of 2 pi centimeters and a combined area of 90 pi centimeters squared. Find the radius of each. Okay, so this is the question. It is an application question. How do we apply the idea that we are dealing with today, solving simultaneous equations, one quadratic and one linear? So let's say let radius of pizza pan 1 be x, and then let the radius of pizza pan 2 equal to y. Okay, so we know that the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. Okay, r being the radius. Okay, so circumference is 2 pi r. So let's see. So we said the radius is x for pan 1, so let's say 2 pi x, okay, plus 2 pi y. Okay, this is circumference. Combined circumference is 24 pi. So you see that simplifying this will cancel out the pi, and we shall have an equation 2x plus 2y equals 24. We name that equation 1. And then talking about the second statement, combined area. So area of a circle is pi r squared. Pi r squared. Okay, so let's use that idea. So the r is the x, so we have pi x squared plus pi y squared equals 90 pi. Remember, the radius of pizza pan 1 is x and the radius of pizza pi 2 is y. So let's cancel out the pi's. Okay, and then let's write the new equation is x squared plus y squared equals 90. So this is equation 2. Are we following? So after that, now that we have equation 1 and equation 2, we use the ideas of the explained examples 1 and 2 to continue and solve. Alright, so let's continue. So now here we shall have, we can consider equation 1, 2x plus 2y equals 24. So we can reduce this by 2. We can divide it up by 2 because 2 can be divided into every item here. So we have 2x plus y. I'll erase that. Okay, so 2x plus y equals 12. Okay, so from this we can say x equals 12 minus y. Now we have x as the subject, and now we substitute in 2. So we can say in 2, we now write 12 minus y whole square plus y squared equals 90. Okay, equals 90. So now we are going to expand, and after expanding we can create a quadratic, and after creating a quadratic we solve the quadratic. I'll write here some formulae that you'll need. X equals negative b plus or minus. This is a quadratic formula that you'll need at some point. Okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, so I'll let you complete this. How is that? for better practice. Is that fine? I want you to try and complete this. Expand, create a quadratic equation, then use the quadratic formula to solve the quadratic equation, get the value of y, then substitute back into this equation. I'll name it star. Substitute into a equation star to get the value of x. The value of y, you will have two values of y in this case, and then you'll also have two values of x. Okay, so practice and comment. I'll find the comments, and if you have any questions, ask. Okay. Alright, so yeah, this is the end of today's session. I hope you benefited. This is 9709. It's Pure 1, Math Pure 1 AS level. We are continuing with the crash course. We are going to do the entire syllabus for AS level. We started with chapter 1, quadratics, and we are about to finish it. We're about to finish it very soon. So make sure you subscribe, like, click the notification bell so that you get notified every time we upload a new video. This is Math with Dennis, and I'm Dennis, your tutor. Hope all becomes easier with pure mathematics. See you in my next video. Have a nice time. Share with a friend. Bye bye.